What's up, Sogcast fans? We are so excited because everything in the past week has gone great. The Mariners are playing phenomenal baseball. They're still in first place, and they've now won 4 consecutive series. And against the two teams in the World Series last year, back-to-back, the Mariners have played the Rangers and the Diamondbacks, won both series. I mean, everything's great. Let's hop into it. And welcome back to the Sogcast. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm Garrett.
What can we say? I mean, it's been good baseball. It's been fun baseball.
It's gone well this last week and a half. I mean, the Mariners are 11 out of their last 15. That's really good. 11 wins out of their last 15 games. What a turnaround from the beginning of the season.
And we are always optimists here at the Sogcast, and we told y'all a little bit of a slow start.
Yeah, we try to be optimistic. You know.
It is hard sometimes, but we told y'all, hey, a little bit of a slow start. It's okay. We're going to figure it out. And, I mean, talk about firing on all cylinders. Everything is working. Defense, working counts, working pitchers, long ball. I mean, just everything is going right. The stuff that was kind of rocky at the beginning of the season now seems like a year away. I mean, defensive problems have not really been the issue. We haven't been running into the errors like we were the first couple weeks.
Sure, it was shaky defense there for quite a while. We weren't sure what we were going to get from our defense, and now things are falling into place. We're getting back on the rails. We know what to expect out there from our guys, offensively and defensively. Unfortunately, injuries have been an issue, but not quite as bad as other teams. Like, we can say that we're blessed with only a few players going down right now. There's a lot of injuries around the league, and it sucks to lose J.P. Crawford. We'll get into that.
Yeah, despite all these injuries and things that are kind of going wrong, things are looking great for the Mariners right now.
The next man is always ready. We're there, and the energy is good. It's starting to become a winning culture, and the back end of our bullpen works out almost every time. There's not much to be disappointed about, or there's a lot to look forward to. There's still a lot of room for growth, which I'm excited about.
Yeah, everything has just been clicking. Like, everything's firing on all cylinders. One down news, as you mentioned, best Mariner, J.P. Crawford, is going to the IL. He has an oblique issue, which
sucks.
That does suck. It has been known to be a lingering problem for players, and it can last a lot longer than you think.
If anyone who doesn't know, it's like down next to your abdominal muscles there in your core area. Any twisting you do, when you're batting, all you're doing is twisting. When you're reaching for backhand ground balls, throwing, everything you do is twisting all of the muscles in there. And when something goes wrong there, it's uncomfortable for a long time.
Yeah, and it's hard to play through. It's not really something like, a sore ankle where you might be a little bit slower on the base pass and stuff, but you can fight through it. Obliques really affect how you do everything in the game.
Very twingy muscles, very sinewy, and everything you do is uncomfortable. He said even breathing, when you're breathing or bending over to put your shoes on, everything you do is
abdominal stuff definitely sucks, and it's harder to rehab too. You kind of just wait.
Yeah, you never know how soon you're going to be back. So even though it's a grade 1 strain, which is really nice to hear, it's only a grade 1.
It's only in first grade.
But
it was also funny because I didn't know if grade 1 or grade 3 was worse. I was like, oh, grade 1, is that bad?
You graduate.
First graders are stupid. Remember it that way. Third graders think first graders are stupid. That's the best way to think about it.
He'll never forget it.
Yeah, there you go. And
real quick, JP going down with the oblique thing is not fun for anybody.
No.
But I'll take that over losing Cal Raleigh for more than one day with a dental issue.
Oh my God, what a tough guy.
Cal is the toughest player that has ever played baseball, ever. I mean, he had a broken tooth.
I think no doubt about it.
Yeah, the dude is so insanely tough. So Cal just recently missed a game because he had to have surgery for a broken tooth. I don't know if any of y'all have ever broken a tooth or had tooth pain.
Tooth pain. I haven't broken one.
I have a tooth that broke in half when I broke my jaw, and it's very painful. And
sounds brutal.
It sucks. And like the pain, like it will floor you. And the fact that Cal played through it, got surgery, missed the game the day he had surgery, and then was back in the lineup the next day is insane. And
That's crazy tough. And what he did last year with his thumb ripped off his hand.
He knows
just
how
played
valuable he
18
is.
innings.
yeah.
He's
Dude,
so valuable to this
and-
team.
He is the toughest person I've ever seen in my life.
And the fact that he even said that his tooth pain was the worst injury he's ever played through, which means last year when he caught, all through the playoffs, including the 18-inning game with torn ligaments in his thumb, in his
thumb was
catching hand.
He was hanging off, man.
And he caught through all of that, and he said the tooth pain was worse than that, and he's in the lineup the next day. Like, the dude's toughness is unmatched, and we have so many staples in this team, but Cal is the base of the pyramid.
I'm saying, like, we can let Demo play short for a couple days, and I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Sebi fill in for Cal for more than a game at a
Oh
time.
my
Oh, yeah.
God. I'd have to call for us to trade for a catcher or something. We don't have Tom Murphy like we did last year. I miss you, Tom Murphy.
Although, have you seen Tom's numbers?
Are they bad?
It's
If he was with the Mariners,
If
If
they'd
he was
be
with
good.
the Mariners, they'd be better.
they would. Yeah.
Yeah, vibes, bro.
Yeah. Tom Murphy is having a rough go in San Fran this year.
That's a bummer.
It is a bummer. We love you, Tom Murphy.
Yeah, turn it around, brother.
But let's just hope that Cal, it's going to take, Cal's going to have to be, amputated from the waist down to not be in the lineup. And even still, he'd probably...
He's still framing catching.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Strike. I still got it.
I love Cal Raleigh, man.
How can
Yeah.
you not?
Well,
Should we go through we'll catch you up, a brief recap leading up to today, which is Saturday the 27th.
yeah, we record every Saturday night, so we're going to catch you up starting on Sunday last week when we had a doubleheader against the Rockies. Luckily, we had a day off after that to recover, but we had to make up that game that was canceled on, Friday?
Snow day.
Friday.
Yeah. So, Sunday, George Kirby. He was great again, man. He wiggled out of the 4th and 5th inning with runners in scoring position. Nobody scored on George Kirby. He only went 5, which is not bad. 5 hits, no walks as usual, 7 strikeouts. That's what he does best. Our bullpen came in. Thornton, Spire, Stanek. They all went 0 earned runs, 4 Ks, and we lost that game 2-1. The Mariners offense couldn't really get it going. Polanco grounded into a double play in the 9th when we had a runner on. But the game was, was it tied 1-1 in the 9th inning?
I think we didn't get our first run until the 10th inning. That's too long of a game
No,
to
this one,
not score any runs.
this one, oh God, that was with the fan interference.
Yeah, so
the fan interference, yes. So it was 1-1 in the 9th.
1-1.
They had a chance. The Rockies had a chance to hit a walk-off home run off of Munoz. And thank you, Colorado fan. Some Rockies fan reached over
You're a legend.
the fence and caught the ball. And Demo was underneath it. It might have been a tough catch. It's hard to say.
It would have been a tough catch. I say it's should have been ruled at least a ground rule double, but since Demo did get up and over the wall like
and
that,
he made contact with the fan's arm.
right, so that fan really kind of messed up and got in Demo's way, and they called him out. He hit a home run and they called him out. Not even ground rule double type shit. Like they were like,
weird.
nah, get out of here. You hit a home run, but that fan
Yeah.
screwed you, man. Sorry, you're out. So we had a second life there. That would have been a walk-off home run in the
would've.
bottom of the 9th inning. So,
Should have had that game.
and then Munoz came in the 10th. And, obviously we couldn't score in the top of the 10th for some reason. But Munoz came in the 10th and gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, and the loss. We should have won that game, but the offense just couldn't get anything going. We were 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position, left 10 on base, 6 hits, 6 walks, 10 Ks. Nothing special. We just didn't do anything with runners in scoring position.
I actually think the biggest takeaway of that is that we had 6 walks. The Mariners had 6 free base runners in that game and could do jack shit with it.
Couldn't move him around.
No.
1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Doesn't get it done. I don't blame Munoz for that. There was some pretty lucky base hits there, and like they just got the run in. And honestly, that home run should have ended the game, and we had legs for no reason, and we lost. Like, it should have been over in the 9th anyway. Moving on to the second game on Sunday.
Yeah, luckily, right after that one, we got another chance. And
9 more innings of baseball.
And the Mariners hammered them early, hammered them often, and did not look back. 10-2 was the final of the second game of the doubleheader.
Crushed them.
I mean, it wasn't even close. 10-2 makes the score seem closer than it was. I mean, Mariners rolled them. It was like they took all the offense from that first game and just they had rollover minutes like it was 2004. Brought it into the second game and just stomped them.
They did. Emerson Hancock started that game. He had a nice start, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, and 4 strikeouts, which isn't bad. If you pitch 6 innings and give up 2 runs, you're giving your chance a really good team or a really good chance to win. A fielding error by Polanco in the first helped them score 2 runs early, but that's all they got the entire game. And then it was just our offense all day. We had, in the second inning, we really got things going. Dylan Moore, sac fly. Sebi Zavala, RBI single with the bases loaded. And then J.P. Crawford
Best
with
Mariner.
a bases clearing triple to make the score 5-2 early. So even though they scored 2 in the first, we came back hot in the second and scored 5.
And that was pretty much all she wrote. Dominated them the rest of the game, tacked on 5 more runs.
Yeah, Cal Raleigh with a bomb.
And left Colorado with another series win. And
That's
didn't
right.
get the sweep, and they should have. That game 1 of the doubleheader, they were just sleeping out there. But you know, if you take 2 or 3 of any opponent on the road,
I'll take that all
that's
day.
huge.
I'll
That's
take
huge.
that.
Even the
Especially
Rockies,
on a
like
doubleheader
Yeah.
day, we'll take 1 of 2 on the doubleheader, win the series, and move on. We don't need to get greedy there. We just need to be ready for the next series coming up because the Mariners, they won their second series of the year in Colorado. They're kind of on a heater, right? They're heating up a little bit. I don't want to say that they're rolling on all cylinders, but they're heating up. And we almost had another sweep. That was almost 2 sweeps in a row. It's good to have the day off on Monday to go to Colorado and rest after that. Won 5 out of the last 6 games going into this game. Went from 6-10 to 11-11. Really turning things around going into the Rangers series.
the Rangers, yeah.
Very important.
So it was nice. They had an off day. Yeah, traveled to Texas, and the Mariners on the road against the defending World Series champions. And what do you know?
Blanked him in game 1.
They took that series too. And yeah, shut them out game 1.
Oh, guess who was pitching game 1?
Who was it?
Logan Gilbert.
Damn right.
Walter
That's my
was
guy.
cooking.
Yeah, Logan, 6 2/3, 2 hits, 4 walks, which is kind of surprising, but he didn't let it hurt him.
Yeah, those runs didn't score.
Nope.
His walks were a little high. I was listening to that game, didn't care.
Yeah.
I was like, good.
When
Don't
Logan,
pitch to Adolis Garcia. He'll be fine.
Yeah, let him get on first base
Yeah.
and strike out the next guy. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, not worried about it. I was like, keep walking him. Just do it, Logan. You're good.
I
And
love
he was
that
fine.
Logan Gilbert has relied less on his fastball and gone to more breaking stuff, developed his split finger instead of a change, and he's been super effective. And I don't mind him walking some guys because he's so effective up there. Like he can use his fastball as a weapon when he doesn't go to it like 80% of the time like he did his rookie year. I'm so glad to see that he's so cerebral and has grown into a pitcher that has an artistic value out there, as well as throwing the shit out of the ball constantly.
Yeah, man. The opposing starting pitcher, Dane Dunning, seems to have had the Mariners' number for a while now, and
few
we
starts,
chased
yeah.
him in was it the 4th inning? It was early.
Early,
we got
for
to
sure.
him.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even from like piling on runs. It was just, again, the Mariners working counts, getting the pitch count up, and, scoring a run here or there and chasing the starter from the game
A
early.
good starter.
Yeah.
Yeah, one that has had our number, like you said. I remember him really, last year I was pissed off when he was carving us up I was
Yes.
like, dude, Dane Dunning. The Mariners can't hit Dane Dunning. Like, give me a fucking break here. So I'm so glad to see that we had some redemption this year, and we lit them up early.
Yep.
It was a really good win to start the series, to go up 1-0.
And the fact that we're battling with Texas for first place, and we go there, and to shut them out at home when you're battling for first, like, yeah, it's only April, but these are playoff implication games. They really are. Like, games against Texas, these are the ones that really, really matter. And then especially if you go to the end of the season where stuff like if records are close and it relies on tiebreakers and stuff like that, these games really matter. And the fact that go there, shut them out at home, I mean, phenomenal way to start the series.
It's a great point. The first game we play against them this year, we stack a win, which is very nice. The first series we play against them, spoiler, we get the series win. We take 2 out of 3. Last year, they had our number. They won most of the games last year in our tiebreaker. And
when you're vying for first place in the division as well, any game you can beat that team just shoots up.
That's a 2-game swing.
That's amazing.
Very
That helps
awesome.
us so much.
And not to mention
more spoilers. They lost today, and we won today. So, boink.
Yeah,
Woo!
that's another game.
Also, in that Tuesday game, real quick, Julio got his first home run
Finally.
of the year.
Took a while.
And it was demolished.
Oh my
It was
God.
an absolute nuke to the second deck in
Upper
left
decker.
field, dude.
Boom.
That's really far. Like it was like what 440-ish, 430 something.
And not to be understated, but Gabe the Babe also came in a tough spot, shut down the Rangers. He has been by far our best reliever this year.
He's been really good.
Yeah.
Sneaky Thornton, though, has been also really locked down, just like Spire. But Spire being the lefty specialist, I love it.
How about our pitching against Corey Seager as well? I was nervous every at bat. Gabe the Babe shows up and just like stares him down, shuts him down. Get out of here, Corey Seager.
Go sit down. He knows exactly what to do.
Go ride the pine for a second.
So, yeah, Tuesday was great. Going into Wednesday, though, I mean,
Wednesday, we ran into a couple issues.
it was a soggy day in the morning when we heard some news.
Yeah, so that was the game. Cal went out with his surgery, and then, which was a surprise too. It wasn't like a scheduled surgery. He like broke his tooth.
The way I read the headline, it was like Service told Cal Raleigh to go to the dentist because he needs to go get this done and he doesn't want to. Like that's the way I took the headline that I read.
Yeah,
You gotta
so
force him to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
God.
I'm too tough for doctors.
It's like go take a day off and get that tooth taken care of, bro.
Cal's
Come back in a
incredible.
couple days.
So we had the Cal news, and then right before game time was when JP went down. He did all of pregame warm-ups. He was scheduled to start. Everything seemed fine. And then right before game, the oblique thing, and they benched him from that.
Yeah, something felt weird during batting practice or something like that.
And Bryce Miller just did not have his best stuff that day.
No.
It just wasn't working.
It was a little sloppy, but it wasn't like he was falling off a cliff and giving up a ton of runs. But yeah, he didn't have his best stuff.
It was just a bad day, and then you like add that with JP being out, with Cal being out, and it was just a recipe for disaster. And the game could have been a lot worse. It wasn't like a shit stomping, but between all that and Miller just not having his best stuff, it was a loss for the Mariners. Wasn't that great of a game, but what can you do?
And Miller will rely on his precision. Like he has to be accurate to be effective because he will leave him over the plate if he's not. So that's what happened. He gave up 4 hits and 2 of them were home runs. He walked 4 guys and struck out 5. They were patient and hit the pitches to hit because they knew he didn't have his best stuff, his best accuracy today. So it happens. It's fine. But Mitch Haniger, overall tough day. He drove in our only run, but he made an error in right field, struck out twice. This game did start off well. Josh Rojas sliding into the leadoff spot has been a really bright spot for the Mariners.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He started off this game with a triple, and then Haniger drove him in that first inning, and we thought, all right, let's go. But it didn't turn out the way we wanted. Dylan Moore was ready to fill in. He went 2 for 3.
With a walk and a stolen base.
And a stolen base. And then he took another base late in the game by indifference as well. So he's making a difference out there. I can trust him to be out there to fill in for JP for now.
And another 2 negatives from that Wednesday loss. Luke Raley, who we've been a huge fan of, like getting more playing time and wanting to see the field more.
Yep.
He went 0 for 4 with a strikeout, and Julio went 0 for 4 with 3 Ks. It just, it was a bad game.
It's a tough day for the boys.
Tough
Yeah,
day.
bad news, soggy day for the Mariners. You know, Luke Raley couldn't fulfill his opportunity to get something done in that game, but that's okay. We're going to move on to the next day. We always have to be ready for the next game.
Chugging along to Thursday, and
The
what do you
rubber
know?
match.
Mariners win, take the series on
Yes.
the road against the defending World Series champs.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
Luis Castillo was on the bump. Again, 6 innings, 4 hits, a couple walks, a couple earned runs, but all in all, a quality start from our starting pitching.
That's how you give your team a chance to win. And Castillo has been looking like his usual self. Every start he's made, he's
I'm
thrown
still
about
worried.
100 pitches.
I'm still worried about him giving up too many bombs, though.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's just going to.
It was so funny. You in the group chat, you were like, hey, I like our chances today, but I'm worried about Castillo giving up home runs. And sure enough, the 2 runs Castillo gave up were on solo home runs. So
And that's okay. The way he pitches, if he is effective at all that day, it's okay to give up that home run and not the big 3-run home run late
absolutely.
in the start. Which I'm happy to see that Luis Castillo has come back into at least like last year's realm of understanding who this guy is and isn't just throwing floaty sliders and they get slammed out there. His slider value has gone up a lot recently. In his last few starts, I've been looking at his stats, and it's gone from blue to red, which means he's doing better with his breaking pitch, and that's something he really needed to make that adjustment on, and he has. So I'm happy he goes 6, throws about 100 pitches every time, gives his best stuff, and gives us a chance to win.
I am too. I'm just saying.
I know,
I'm
it's
keeping
easy to
my
be
eye on
worried.
Castillo.
I'm
'cause
worried about those 3-run bombs, like I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, pull them before that can happen.
Yeah.
And the Mariners won 4-3 that game to take the series. Haniger had a rough series in Texas defensively.
He did.
I don't know if it was just the lights, the whatever, but he just didn't look like a veteran outfielder out there. And that hasn't been the case on the season. Just something about that series. I don't know, maybe some minor yips or whatever. Because
It seems like every time he had to run towards the corner, he was having trouble. Like down
They
the
got a big
line
outfield,
towards
don't
the
they?
corner. Kinda. I don't know.
It's not that bad.
I don't know.
I think I'm thinking of the Colorado.
yeah,
Seriously.
Colorado has a huge outfield.
Yeah, but he seemed fine there.
Yeah, it
I
was
don't know
just
what it was.
It's just a weird series. I don't know. He couldn't field the ball well in Texas, but these 2 games back at home in Seattle, he's already made some great plays. So not a lasting issue. It was just a weird kind of blip that happened.
But hey, how about third base?
How about third base?
Your boy.
You boys.
Yeah, you called him out early this season. I leaned Rojas. You said both of them.
Yeah.
And both of them are cooking.
Producing.
Both of them together are amazing. How weird is it to platoon third base and have it work out?
And especially, it's funny because they were both rough to start the year.
I never doubted him for a second.
They were having trouble with the quick like grounders. They were having issues with accuracy and arm strength.
Yeah.
And that's completely disappeared. I was at the game last night and I was watching Urias from third. No issues at all. Was getting the ball, even a couple like deep in the third base hole. No problem is getting it over. It was almost like they just needed to get their arm strength up a little bit. And now that they've done it, you're not noticing any issues.
Well, the reason I bring
they had
up
to get the
third
feel.
base is because Urias hit a 2-run bomb that game.
Yeah, baby. That's what we need to see from him. He's not hitting for a high average or getting a high OBP, but if he can show that he can do that in a big
Runs
spot.
on the board.
Yeah, baby. That's what we're talking about. 2 for 3 with a 2-run homer in the 5th. But I will say that Urias, he throws the ball in the dirt a lot.
He kind of does,
But
yeah.
we have Ty France.
Ty France.
Ty France,
Pick
pick
machine.
artist, dude. Not only hit artist, but pick artist as well.
Yeah, that definitely helps.
I wanted to touch on a couple more highlights that I had from
Sure.
the Thursday game. We had talked earlier, a few episodes ago, about the Mariners not capitalizing on mistakes. And this game, their 4 runs came from home runs. It took 2 swings of the bat on 2 mistake pitches, and that's what won the game. And that's what you needed to see. And they're capitalizing on it. Also, another huge moment, Gabe the Babe came in again. Tough spot. Corey Seager up at the dish. Dangerous hitter. What does Gabe the Babe do? Throws him 4 straight fastballs and strikes him out. I mean, crazy. Awesome.
That's awesome, man.
And then Munoz came in. Dominant 1, 2, 3 save.
Shut the door. No strikeouts. Put the ball in play. Get him out. Let's go home. Let's take this series. We won that game 4-3. And I
Yep.
want to say, like you're saying, man, we put up 4 runs, all on home runs. So this is the kind of game where we weren't scratching and clawing. We weren't relying on that walk and first to third single. This is a game where 4 runs and 3 runs, like that's really the difference that's going to be the Mariners either like
Hell or high
strength
water.
or downfall. Yeah, I mean, what do you expect? If the Mariners score 4 runs, they're probably going to win. If they score 3 runs, man, you're getting into that coin flip territory where it's like, oh, we'll see, dude. And that's the thing. The Mariners need to score more runs than 3 runs a game. If they score 4 runs a game, they're going to win many, many games this year.
I think that was the game that I said, we're going to need to win this game by a lot. I was like, let's not make this a 1-run game because it's going to be too stressful. But we went in there, we got it done, we got the hell out of there. Get out of Texas.
It was a great
with the dub.
It was a great game with Ty France hitting his first home run of the season straight down the right field line drive. That was awesome. I do want to also say the Mariners didn't walk one time that game. They had 5 hits, 11 strikeouts, and we won that game by a sliver. And I love it, man. That's the kind of thing we need to see. The AL West has started off slow this year. Texas and Mariners are fighting for that first spot. It's good to see the Mariners come out on top, and neither of these teams are putting it in high gear. They're not playing at their highest caliber, but seeing the Mariners being able to fight the Rangers that way and know that our bullpen's stronger than theirs, know that our pitching is stronger than theirs, and a couple bombs makes all the difference. And we're going to play that team hard all season. When we're both in full form, it's going to be a really neat battle later down the road, and I can't wait for that. But this was a good way to start the season against them.
Hell yeah.
Then, back at home, Friday, last night,
T-Mob.
they did the turn ahead the clock
Yeah.
night. I got there super early to get this jersey. This hat is from like 2018 when they did it the last time. And I want to say, as giveaways go, this jersey is like really nice quality. It's
Legit.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Along with my
That's nice.
Mariners tattoo.
Check it.
But I do have some issues with last. It was supposed to be turn ahead the clock night. They have done it twice in the past. They did it in 1998 for the first time.
I was there. I was at that game.
Me too.
I didn't wear my hat. I still have my vintage hat, and I didn't know Patrick was wearing this, but I would have brought my vintage hat for that.
What was
It
weird
the
though,
coolest shit. I
Yeah.
love that game.
they did it in 1998 for the first time, and it was a new idea, and it was really popular. It actually hit very well.
It's Griffey's idea.
Yeah,
Just
and-
like Jackie Robinson.
yeah, that man is
was it
a
like
marketing
Back to the
genius. Yeah,
Gimmick?
and they like brought out a DeLorean, and everything was future. It was really, really cool. Fast forward to 2018, they did it again, and we all got to see Nelson Cruz in a sleeveless jersey.
With
Oh
the
my
big
God.
guns,
Oh
bro.
my God.
Big.
Those
are
pythons
missiles.
with no sleeves. Dude, Nelson Cruz is huge.
Oh yeah, we got Dave Niehaus down here on the table too. If you're watching our video on YouTube, give it a like, subscribe to our channel if you haven't. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching and continue to enjoy this fine episode.
It's fine. It's
It's a fine episode. But I'm really confused because I thought it was going to be turn ahead the clock night again last night. They
You mean
gave
for the players, not just the giveaway.
Yeah, they gave out the jersey, and the way they were pushing it on like Facebook and Instagram through like promotional material, it seemed like they were doing another turn ahead the clock night. Got there, giveaway, great jersey quality, really impressed. But then they ran like 2 graphics or like video things of turn ahead the clock night from 2018 and 1998. But then that was it. There was nothing. The players weren't wearing the jerseys.
There was a couple promotional photos of the players wearing these,
Yeah.
like before the game, I think.
Yeah, but they weren't wearing it at the stadium. And
Well, this is all got to be just
Is it Fanatics?
dropping the ball, right?
I mean,
I mean, the Mariners
I
already.
don't know, but I would be quick
We
to
don't
assume that it's
even-
Fanatics.
We don't have our Sunday cream jerseys yet.
We
Like,
got to have our Sunday creams. What's going on? If we don't even have those, then they can't.
there's
do
no way
this.
they're doing this. But
But they can give them away to you. The players could wear these, like, and be fine.
Why not?
I don't know.
I
It's-
don't- it
it's
was
throwing
very-
me
it
off.
was-
They all say Griffey on the back. That's probably why.
Yeah, but it was very weird last night at the stadium because I thought the whole thing was going to be turn ahead the clock, and it wasn't. I don't know. Whole thing was
Weird,
weird.
man.
That aside,
The next challenge, the D-backs.
Yeah.
the
Reigning-
defending or the
National
runner,
League-
the runner up.
Yeah, the
National
National
League
League champions.
Yeah, but
yes.
runner up to the World Series. So we went from Texas playing the World Series champions to back at home playing the runners up, and also the return of the great fan favorite. Everyone loves him. Eugenio Suarez
That's right.
returned to Seattle. It was awesome. The Mariners gave him a beautiful video package.
So much love in the air, man.
The crowd was phenomenal.
Big pop for Gino.
For Suarez. They gave him so much love, and he returned it. He waved to the crowd. It was really, really cool.
Gave Cal a hug before his at-bat. Like, what's
Yeah.
up, buddy? Missed you.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Also, Ty France gets a hug. There's a couple more things. He did an interview where he's like, I love Seattle fans. Not to shit on Arizona fans, but Seattle fans are better. I was like, that's crazy to say. But he really made it seem like he misses this place. He loved his time here. It was 2 years, but he was on the team that helped us break our drought.
Yep.
Yeah.
So all of this that adds up. And then he goes 0 for 4 with 2 Ks. And not only that, the guy who replaced him hit a home run in the first pitch of the game. Dude, salt in the wounds.
lead off home run from Rojas.
Yeah, Rojas with a
mean-
big old homer for
I mean, I want all the
1-0.
best for Gino. He's just such a likable guy. But I'm glad that he's not putting shit up against the Mariners. I want him to beat every team that's not the Mariners.
What was funny is
Man, Rojas going yard on the first pitch is like, oh.
and Rojas made some really good plays from third that game too. So it was.
He did.
Another thing that was funny is Suarez actually came up with the bases loaded in the top of the ninth with 2 outs, and the Mariners had a 5-run lead. So I was kind of hoping that Suarez would hit a grand slam.
We could still win the game.
And then they would get the final
Gino
out
gets
and still
his time in the sunshine, but
it didn't. He grounded out to end the game. 0 for 4. And we like to say this sometimes. Double agent Suarez helping the Mariners out.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw Suarez go 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts so many times last
we
year. I
watched him
think
go
it's
0
just
for 4
more
with
of the
4
s-
strikeouts.
It's just more of the same. We know what to expect. We just love the guy so much.
Yes.
for
And our
what he
pitchers
brought to
were
our
just
team.
like, if I throw you a slider, you're going to swing at it. It could be 4 feet out of the zone.
Then we saw Kirby tonight go high fastball and fuck him up.
All right, let's talk about this first game on Friday against the D-backs.
D-backs. I don't like the D-backs.
I love the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I don't like a lot of players on their team for some
I
reason.
love a lot of their players. I love their jerseys. I think the
I love the
Diamondbacks.
Serpientes.
vengeance, okay?
Love the
vengeance.
Serpientes.
We have no
Hate
qualms
Arizona
with them as Mariner fans, but dude, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this team, and I love beating this team.
Well, hell yeah, you're getting what you want. Okay, so we had Emerson Hancock versus Zach Gallen.
Yeah.
Were either of you nervous going up against Zach Gallen in the first game?
Yes.
I wasn't, because I wasn't facing him. So I was like, these guys can hit him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a question, but thank you.
Zach Gallen can be one of the best pitchers in the National League. He's a really good right-handed pitcher.
I'm saying.
He had to leave
the
this
game.
game with injury, and that sucks. man.
Torched his ass a little too hard.
It was a hamstring issue. Yeah, he went out, I believe, in the 6th inning, I believe. Yeah, he had it was super weird. He was pitching a just fine game. He had given up the solo home run to Rojas, but was pitching great. And had to come out with a hamstring issue. And
He also gave up a
That
solo
was a
shot to
hamstring.
Garver.
Good.
Yes.
I'm glad it wasn't an arm.
2 solo shots.
yes, Mitch Garver got a home run at T-Mobile. That was exciting.
Thank God.
Oh.
Hit it right down the line.
Yes. Another thing I thought was weird, the ball really seemed to be carrying last night.
Juice ball?
I was kind of wondering, because it was cold at the stadium, and I was in the 300 level. Wind was whipping through. It wasn't brutal wind, but there was still definitely wind going left to right, around the stadium like it does. And Rojas's home run carried. Garver's home run down the left field line, stayed right within the...
Oh, just tucked it, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
But it just kept going. You were thinking that the ball was going to die, and it just carried over.
I think our boys are just strong.
What I've noticed from Garver is he's good at backspinning fastballs. So if you got a fastball and put backspin on it, that's how balls carry, like a golf shot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They kind of get that arc and then fall off. That's what he's really good at. So if he can get the bat to that ball and put it out like that with backspin, then that's kind of what creates that carry with in the physics zone of that whole thing. And that's okay. That's good. That's what I've noticed about him is he's kind of behind pitches right now. He's not dialed in, but he's able to backspin fastballs like the best of them in the major leagues. So I'm a little bit worried about his performance, but I'm not too worried about his skills if he can get up to par eventually here.
I think that's fair.
And then, Zach went out with his injury. Bullpen pitcher comes in, walks a guy, and then in comes big, bad Mitch Haniger.
Mitch Haniger.
Grand salami, rye bread, mustard, grand
Grandma.
salami. Yeah. The whole 9. And another ball that it just seemed to keep going. You thought it was going to hit the marine layer and die, and it just kept floating and barely cleared the wall. Doesn't matter. Still counts for 4. Grand slam, Mitch Haniger. It was... Cheers.
Mitch Haniger.
To Mitch Haniger. To
First
old
grand
Maniger.
slam of the season.
Absolutely phenomenal. And then on the defensive side of things, Hancock, allowed some base runners early, but the Mariners had 3 double plays in the first 4 innings.
4 innings.
Four
They
innings,
had
yeah.
more DPs than that secret folder in my laptop. I mean, it was DP
We
City.
can talk about that, but we can also talk about that Emerson Hancock only gave up 2 hits, 1 run, which was a home run, 4 strikeouts, which is good. He's getting the ball on the ground a lot. Those ground balls are insane. The way he can force those ground ball double plays was awesome. Polanco had a great day at second base defensively because we've seen him be shaky. I looked up his overall career stats, and he has like an 83% success rate on ground balls. So we can expect 8 out of 10 ground balls to be outs. But today he turned double plays like the best of them. He made good plays at second base as well. I like what he's doing despite his lacking bat right now.
And it was nice.
His bat's good, though.
Yeah,
it is good
and
when
the
he's
power,
on the ball.
The power will come.
He's the best second baseman we've had in 12 years.
We'll talk about it in a few here. I got something on Polanco.
Okay.
But I did like that Hancock. Yeah, if he gave up an early base runner or whatever, boom, ground balls, defense was getting him out of it, and just the game was flying by. It was 1 hour and we were in the 5th inning.
It was a quick one.
And then the second half of the game did get a little bit slower. Slower compared to an hour for 5 innings, which is insane. I thought I was about to see a 2-hour ball game. And it was still close.
It was flying by.
It was. Because
it did slow down with the injury, and then with everything in the whole back half of the game with pitching changes, it slowed down quite a bit. But the Mariners did end up taking that game 6-1. We only allowed 1, dude.
On a solo shot, yeah.
Our bullpen's been so good.
And Bolton came back. Bolton had a nice outing.
He's been in a couple games this week.
It was good to see him.
Thornton has been so good. Just quietly holding it down in low leverage spots.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
under 1 ERA.
And that's just what Mariners bullpen does. Year in and year out, we just have dudes, just dogs out there in the bullpen that just can come in and shut shit down. It's awesome.
And that's a nice Friday night win. We're facing some of the best teams. They're not playing their best baseball either, but the Mariners are heating up right now, and it's good this is a statement win to beat the Rangers the way we did, and now beating the Diamondbacks 6-1. And then Saturday night, tonight we're recording Saturday night, and the Mariners took another game from the D-backs, won
secured another series win.
George Kirby. He's our boy, dude. He was getting it done in the first inning, touching 97, 98, 99 miles an hour in the first inning. He ended up with 11 Ks, going 7 solid innings.
I saw he had his career high for whiffs in a game was 20, and he had 7 after the first inning. I don't know what he finished up with in the game, but he had 7 swings and misses in the first inning when he struck out the side. And then
last year he was unhittable against New York and went for those 20 whiffs.
Yeah. And in this game, by the second inning, Kirby had 5 strikeouts. Finished with 11.
Beat his personal best of 10.
And that's not something he's known for.
Finished with 12.
Did he finish with 12?
I think it was 11.
I think it was 11.
I'm checking it out right here.
We'll pull it up.
Yeah, but George Kirby, he's slicing and dicing all day. He was feeling it from the get-go today, for sure. He was using all of his pitches. His splitter was looking good today.
Threw the knuckle curve a little bit.
That knuckle curve was nasty. The hard slider, striking out lefties down and in towards their feet, just absolutely murdering these batters today. The Mariners struck out 14 of the Arizona batters total. I'm trying to get over to the right tab here.
I need to know.
We're getting there. It was 12. You are right, Garrett. Absolutely nailed it.
You need to listen to me when I talk about baseball.
He knows
I
stuff.
sure do, dude. No, you're right. You're right. He knows about third base platoons. He knows about George Kirby striking out 12 guys. What else do you know about?
That's all.
That was the extent. 3-1. Stanek came in relief, and you had some notes about Stanek once he reaches like 20 pitches.
We'll get in there. The Mariners ended up 15-12 after Saturday night, and I feel like taking a break, dude. I gotta
good recap, fellas. Let's take a break.
Take a break.
Welcome back to the Mariners Sogcast on 69.9 The Sog. You're listening to the Mariners Sogcast. On the radio.
And video.
WSOG Sogcast Radio.
Coming for your airwaves. So we've pretty much covered the recap. So let's just get into more general Mariners news. One thing I noticed today watching the game on TV.
Oh, I noticed that we're in first place. Did you notice that?
We are in
We're
first place.
First place in the West.
Still holding it down.
And still.
And stay down.
One thing I noticed, JP, who is injured on the IL, was not only in the dugout, but was still wearing like team gear. Like he had the baseball pants on and stuff.
Oh,
and
nice.
Yeah. And it's not uncommon for players to rehab at home or like rest at home when they're on the IL. It's not anything frowned upon or anything. It's actually pretty common.
It makes sense that he's doing it while he's at home. I would assume he rehabs at like back here and doesn't go on the next road trip. But I'm
Still,
glad
though,
that he's in uniform on the top step with the team. That's a big boon for us, and having him around is always a benefit, whether he's on the field or not.
Yeah, it was just really cool to see JP with the team still, and like it shows the team chemistry and the fact that he is the captain of the team and he's there with the guys even though he's injured. I saw that on the broadcast and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Hanging out with the boys while they win games. Take series.
Well, what do we want to get into? Some offensive stuff, some pitching stuff. We have all kinds of things going on this week with the Mariners heating up the way they are, the pitching the way it is.
I mean, Logan Gilbert is the best pitcher in the league right now.
Oh, we can definitely talk about Logan
I don't have any
Gilbert.
stats to back that up. That's just what I feel.
The eye
in
test.
my heart.
The eye test
The
never
eye test
fails.
is what matters, man. We can back up the eye test with stats. We can prove it right or wrong, and we will do that. Logan Gilbert looks awesome. When we give
Fact.
Logan Gilbert 3+ runs of support, he's 31-0 in his entire career. So how about we score more than 3 runs? You know what I mean? For any pitcher, score 3 or 4 runs, that's a big difference.
Yeah, let's not wait till the 9th or 10th inning to score our first run in a game.
And close games are not our forte like they were back in 2022.
There was a time when they were, but let's win games by 4 or 5 runs.
Yeah, let's make it comfortable.
Look, the Mariners are like 12-0. At least this was earlier this week when I looked it up. The Mariners are 12-0 when they have the lead after the 6th inning. So the Mariners have to be getting to these starting pitchers early, which they have been more. 12-0.
That's
when
awesome.
you're going into the 7th inning with the lead, like that means our bullpen has been airtight. In close games, it might be a different story,
It's like
but when we
Patrick's folder.
have the
Actually, it's pretty wide open. It's a lot of DPs.
there's a wide variety in that folder.
Quickly though, about other pitching stuff. Brian Wu has another rehab start coming up.
Good.
He's supposed to be healed up soon. His first rehab start in Tacoma, I mean, dominant. He went 3 innings, 5 strikeouts, no runs, I think a hit, and like no walks.
Yeah, so they're building him up. He
Great.
probably threw like 50, 60 pitches that day.
Yeah, he has another rehab start coming up, and I think that's going to be his last one, and then he'll be back
It should be.
on the Major League roster, which means Emerson Hancock will get bumped from his starting role,
That's right.
which is kind of a damn shame because he's really coming into his own too. The Mariners have so many starters, we don't know what to do with all of them.
If we have Emerson Hancock going down to AAA and just staying fresh, and he can come up and do what he's been doing, that's an awesome thing. Like if Brian Wu can come up and be effective, keep his spot, not get re-injured, and show us what he's capable of. Emerson Hancock's just filling in until Wu can get back, right?
He's doing a great job of filling in, but that
He's-
is his role, is he's a fill-in for Brian Wu, and we're expecting Wu's return soon. So, I mean, it's great to have pitchers like Emerson Hancock to fall back on. If anybody else in our rotation gets injured, Hancock's back, right?
Talk about him having a good taste of what major league pitch
It's
or
a pretty
batting
lengthy,
is like.
lengthy stint.
Yes.
So anytime we need him, he already knows what's going on up here. He knows how to fit right in and get ground balls. He knows what his role is in the rotation, and maybe he doesn't need to go 6, but he leaves it all out there every time.
Sure.
And Emerson Hancock has proved that he's better than his
Tommy Malone.
I was gonna say Tommy Malone. Tommy Malone.
Yeah, sure. He's proved that he's capable of competing up here, and that's awesome to have a 6-deep rotation when Woo gets back.
Hell yeah.
And then on less than positive note, Matt Brash is now being shut down from all activity
No,
Indefinitely.
that's not good.
That is not good at all.
And Matt, you broke the news to us, and judging by the notes, it seems really weird because one, the Mariners PR, and again, I don't blame them for this. It's just big leagues like trying to not necessarily hide injuries, but lessen the blow. Where they said like Brash will be back soon. He's rehabbing well. We expect everything to go well. He should be back. And then sure enough, it was not going as smoothly as we thought. Now that he's getting shut down, you see some of the kind of the behind the scenes stuff where apparently he was hurting for a while.
Well, I don't know if that was exactly what was being said in the article. It was more like things did seem to be going well in his rehab, and he experienced a setback. So something happened when he was trying to ramp up a little bit more. And the quote that you're referring to, I was reading that I was referring to something that was like previously, like how his fatigue affects how often he pitches and how his fatigue affects his stuff and everything. So I think having him pitch too often maybe led to that type of injury is basically what the quotes were kind of saying. And it sucks because Brash is a top-of-the-line guy. He puts so much stress on his arm to throw 99 miles an hour and have the craziest slider and curveball you've seen. Like, he has ultimate stuff out there. And it's tough, man. That happens all around the league. The dudes that have the best stuff put the most torque on their arm and throw 100% pitches, and they get injured more often. And it does suck to have that happen to Matt Brash. And I do think things were going well. I don't know if it's it's a media thing where they were trying to hide anything. I think things were going well, and he even had a rehab assignment for today, Saturday, where we're recording, and he couldn't do that because he threw a bullpen session where the quote was, it was like 0 pitches felt good.
Yeah, he said every pitch he threw.
Every pitch felt bad.
It's not what you want to hear.
That's
of your
like,
rehabbing
like
relief pitcher.
If the first pitch you throw feels bad during a rehab type thing,
maybe
like
don't
throw another one.
Stop throwing. You know,
Yeah.
how many pitches do you throw before it's like every pitch felt bad? And that's not a great sign. The Mariners quote was like, "We are concerned." Like, yeah, we're very concerned. It's
You
like,
should be.
Well, yeah, duh.
From what it sounds like, yeah, that's reasonable.
Well, it sucks to not see Matt Brash coming back, maybe even this year.
Yeah.
The way that goes with
Indefinitely
elbow
makes it
inflammation.
sound like it's for the rest of the season.
And they even transferred Gregory Santos to the 60-day IL, which can be retroactive.
it has been retroactive, so that sounds scary on paper, but
it doesn't necessarily mean something bad happened and
Right.
he got replaced. He got placed again on the 60-day IL.
He just
like-
got transferred.
Yeah.
We're expecting another 60 days of
They thought
recovery.
maybe he could come back sooner than 60 days, so they put him on the shorter IL
15.
30 or 15, but it took longer than they thought, so they can transfer that to a 60-day IL, which gives him 45 more days to return from the IL. We can't take him back before that time, so they're saying that it's going to take those full 60 days, but at least it's not something that is a setback like Matt Brash's, which could be season ending, and who knows how long it's going to take for him to get back on top of things. And that's tough because the way we've seen the back end of our bullpen falter at times. I mean, we can talk about Stanek now if you want.
yeah.
Stanek is dominant for 18 pitches, I would
Yeah.
say.
Oh,
He
yeah.
needs to get those 3 outs under 20 pitches.
Real good at getting 2 outs.
He's really good at getting 2 outs.
That's for sure. Once he gets 2 outs, the things start going off the rails. He'll walk guys. He's already thrown an average is probably 12 to 15 pitches. Maybe not 12 to 15, but he has really good stuff until he's thrown 18 pitches. After he's seen 3 or 4 batters, 1 or 2 of them reach base, the wheels fall off for him.
Stuff starts sailing. He can't locate the zone. Stuff starts breaking way wide, and he just loses his control. And
He is aging a little
Walk
bit.
a guy,
Yeah.
a triple.
that's what happened in tonight's game. Stanek comes in, 1 out, 2 outs.
Looks
and
filthy.
looks super nasty. Then, after the second out, starts losing control a little bit, walks a guy. Next guy has him with 2 strikes and leaves something down in the bottom part of the zone. The dude roped it for a huge triple, and that was the Diamondbacks' only run of the night. They lost 3-1. But
We've given it a little moniker over here. We call this Stanek Panic.
yes,
We do.
Once we get to that 4th or 5th batter in the inning, his stuff falls off a cliff and he's just not effective. It puts him into trouble. The Mariners either need to learn to put a new pitcher in before that 5th batter comes in and know that he either gets the 3 outs right away or that's trouble. They have to have a guy warming up behind him. You know
Yes.
what I mean? And they haven't done that. They've kind of put him out there and trusted him to get those 3 outs, and it gets deep really quick, and it's not good in close games where then Munoz has to come in and try to clean up, or we can't have that if that's going to be our direct route to winning games and saving games. We can't have Munoz
Putting more
wily
pressure
like
on
that.
Munoz is not the way.
No, it's very much not, especially now Brash isn't coming back and Gregory Santos is going to take a while. So our middle reliever guys might have to take a step up into higher leverage roles, which I'm okay with seeing Thornton and Bolton and
Yeah.
these guys step up into a higher leverage role and take
Spire.
care of that if we have to go to them earlier, or when Stanek gets into trouble, come in with that guy to get 1 or 2 outs until we need the lefty or righty and match up that way. It's okay. I just Stanek just can't get that 3rd out, and it's been tough recently. Sometimes it's good. He pitched 2 innings in a game earlier this week, and it was fine.
Right.
But
This isn't all the time.
at a
It's,
high leverage spot, it's not the same as it is when he needs to pitch 2 when we're way ahead in the game.
Yeah.
there was kind of one more thing I wanted to touch on in this episode before we wrap it all up. Class A had his hot start, and then
That's just punching the
I'm just-
shit out of his
yeah, I
microphone.
punched my mic. Sorry, guys. Whoops.
Class A has not been in the lineup the last 2 games. Rayleigh has been playing left field, and he had an RBI tonight, hitting Mitch Garver, which was nice for Rayleigh. And this is kind of a 2-parter. Class A, we kind of talked about how once Canzone comes back, Class A getting sent down, and it kind of ties in with the hottest prospect in baseball right now, Holiday.
Jackson
Holiday on the Orioles, number 1 touted prospect. He's only 20 years old.
He looks 12.
He
He's
looks
so
like an
young.
infant.
Oh my god.
He looks like a baby out there.
So we thought that he might make the team with the Orioles to start the year, but he didn't. They sent him down to the minors to work on hitting lefties, which he crushed in the minors. So they eventually had to bring him up, and they're giving him a chance to make his debut.
And they
make some
gave him a
difference.
chance.
They really did. It's been about 2.5 weeks. The dude had 2-ish hits, maybe
like
a couple more, but
18 strikeouts.
he ended up getting sent back down recently. But
Yeah. So the point is though is that like Holiday, who was the biggest known prospect and they expected to take the league by storm, turns out he came up, he was overmatched, and he has to get sent back down, and that's totally fine. And their GM gave such an amazing press conference about it. his wording and how he acknowledged it, he basically came out and said, it's hard to tell when these guys are ready to face the major leagues. Like Jackson, despite being so young, has been tearing up AAA. He's been absolutely phenomenal.
Murdering AAA.
They wanted to bring him up, and when they found out, okay, it's not quite clicking yet, and they send him back down, the GM is like, yes, it's hard to tell when these kids are ready, but now he knows what he needs to work on so he can go back to AAA, develop, and understand how the game changes from AAA to majors, and he can work on that, and he can come back in the future stronger and a better player. And that leads into Class A, where it's like, yeah, he came on really hot and stuff, but he's also very young. And so when Canzone comes back, if we send Class A down, he knows what he can work on and become an even stronger player in the future.
Yeah,
Definitely. And the way you described Holiday, he started in the minors to try and work on hitting lefties. He did it, got called up.
Yep.
Now he has more stuff to work on. Sounds like he's really good at working like with an assignment. Oh, I need to do this. Let me go do that.
Right.
Work on it. I don't know about Class A. He hasn't had the time yet to see if that's his way of learning too. Like tell him exactly what he needs to go work on and then come back. But he knows clearly. Like he's seen big league games.
And he's produced.
Knows what he needs to work on. So he's got time in the minors. He's got options. We're good. He'll be back.
He will be back.
So
I'd say he's gotten a feel for what it's like to face the best relief pitchers in the league. You know what I mean? In AAA, it's not going to be the same when that guy comes in the 7th or 8th inning, and you're not facing the same guy. This is the major leagues. This is the best of the best, and when you get a taste for that at a young age, like Class A is, like Holiday is, they're very young players, and this is the first taste they get, and all you can do is take it all in, do what you can do, feel what it's like at this level, because it is much different at the highest level. And I watched a lot of AAA games from being 9 to 11 years old. I lived in Tacoma.
Never
my
forget.
grandparents had my grandparents had season tickets. My uncle worked at the ballpark. I saw hundreds and hundreds of AAA games, and it's nothing like a major league game. There's the intensity is insane. The talent level is insane. And Class A, he's going to be fine. He probably will get sent back down because there's no way we're DFAing Luke Raley for instead of sending Class A down for his first option. He's a 21-year-old kid. Like,
yeah,
he got a taste. He's going to improve, and that's the way it is.
Do you guys think it's a little weird, though, that he had such a hot start and then has been missing from the lineup the past 2 games? It seems kind of weird.
I will say, Leo Rivas got the call up when J.P. Crawford went down. So Leo Rivas is our new infielder, utility guy, switch hitter, another fast young guy who seems like he was doing hot in AAA. So the Mariners are just playing the hot hand. Class A was hot in AAA. They called him up, and he was a spark plug. He's kind of cooled off because he's not going to be a starter when you just call up this guy, right? He's just going to play where he can in the spots where he can and fill in until we get our real, like, major leaguers back. Not to say they're not real major leaguers. It's just that that's the role they're playing. Leo Rivas is slashing 308, 422, 462 in the minors, that's almost a 900 OPS. His slugging and on base is crazy. Over 422 is really good, and 462 for a guy that isn't known for his power is pretty good too. We're just playing the hot hand and hoping that Leo Rivas can be another spark plug for our team while JP is out during this next week. But it is tough to call up a hot hand and then put him on the bench and not play him.
Yeah.
Then they're not in the rhythm, and then they have to adjust to the whole major league game like we were just talking about. So it's tough to see. I think we're just kind of down a player right now, and Leo Rivas is going to see starts versus right-handed pitchers because Dylan Moore isn't great at hitting righties versus lefties and all that kind of matchup bullshit where that's just the way we're going to see Leo Rivas play a few games, and hopefully JP isn't out for too long. I think Leo, we don't know who he is or what he is, so I've never even really heard of this guy.
I'll be honest, I haven't heard of him.
Yeah.
I have no idea who that guy is.
We're just calling up the hottest player that in the position that we need at the time, and that's Leo right now. But I mean, Sam Haggerty's coming back from injury soon, so I think we're just filling in until Sam can come back because JP's going to be out for a minute.
Meh.
What do you think about Sam Haggerty now that we have a couple injuries? Now that Canzone's out, now that JP's out, now that Sam Haggerty's making a lot
Do
more
we have
sense.
a time frame on Canzone?
I saw that he's actually. I just read a little snippet earlier today. He's progressing well, and I think it should be like another 3 weeks.
Oh,
maybe,
wow.
Maybe.
Did he like fracture something?
No, it was just a shoulder thing, right, from colliding into the wall.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah, it was a sprain of this joint here, which is it's a tough one.
That's rough. Okay. Well, shit.
I mean, Haggerty, I don't really miss him. I do think it's weird though that the Mariners have now called up 2 essentially no-name guys to like bring this spark, but Cade Marlowe, who has major league experience, hasn't been called up, and I wondered.
Matt, how's he doing in the minors? Is he just not the hot hand right now?
I can look up Cade Marlowe in a sec. I will say we've already used one of Marlowe's options.
Oh, that's a good
maybe
point.
he
That's a
has
good
less
point.
options. We're getting these young guys experience while they're hot and
Sure.
get them a taste for what's going on. It's still early in the season. Maybe we'll see Cade Marlowe heat up in the minors and then come up later when we need that left-handed bat later. I still think he's a viable option. I don't know how he's doing in the minors, but I wanted to point out how Sam Haggerty has been for the Mariners.
Sure.
So,
Looks like Patrick's on the case.
I'm on Cade.
okay, good. So I'll go over Haggerty for a second. In 2023, he got 108 plate appearances. He hit 253, 364, and 341 for a 705 OPS, which isn't bad. His OPS plus has been over 100 for the last 2 years, which is better than league average, around league average. He doesn't hit a lot of homers, but that's not what we need him for. He's a speed defense kind of guy, utility defense guy. He hits a lot of singles. He walks almost as much as he strikes out. Last year, he walked 15 times, struck out 17 times. His on-base percentage of 364. He's a guy that we need on base to steal bases and to fill a defensive gap when we need him to. And he has been more solid than what I've given him credit for recently. Like, he is a proven major league bench utility guy. He's not necessarily going to be starting for us unless we need him to, but I think he's a switch hitter too. So,
Yes.
So he's able to do whatever we need him to do. And I think he's a good stopgap guy until JP gets back, but I don't see him making a huge difference on this team because Dylan Moore is the difference maker compared to Sam Haggerty as far as we've seen.
And I've found the issue with Cade Marlowe.
What's up?
So the Mariners have clearly, as a team, have tried to work on cutting down the strikeouts this year.
Okay.
And it hasn't worked. The Mariners have been striking out at a high rate, but that is one of the problems they had in the offseason that they're trying to rectify. Cade Marlowe in Tacoma this year has 91 at-bats and has struck out 41 times.
Yo.
Oh, that's like
So
running a 50% strikeout rate. That's
he is
20% higher than we want.
Yeah, he is striking out a ton against Triple A pitching.
Oof.
So I'm guessing that's why he hasn't getting the called up. He does have the major league experience, but the Mariners are trying to change this foundation of their offensive workings, and he is doing the opposite of what they're trying to fix.
Well, that makes sense why we haven't seen him. I thought he'd get the call up instead of Class A, but if he's striking out half the time in AAA, then that's not viable.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. Well, give the player a chance. Like, Class A has been one of our high prospects for a while. I mean, people like that guy. I don't know who Rivas is, but give him a chance if he's playing good baseball right now. That's what we need. We need players in the clubhouse that give energy, who want to do well while they're doing well. Like, that's when things roll into itself. It rolls over itself, snowballs into something better, a winning culture in the clubhouse from the next man up, even not even from the guys who are in there every day. It's a shot of excitement for the guys who are in there every day. It helps win.
All right, case closed. Nailed it. Good job.
Good job, boys.
Detective Patrick. Detective P. DP. Folder.
Hey, I got a folder for that.
We had a couple more things here.
Sure. What else you got?
What else you got?
Yeah, let's see.
I just want to talk about how Josh Rojas is so damn
Castillo's
good at baseball.
looking better. I want to talk about Jorge Polanco.
Sure.
That's something that I didn't really get into. I wanted to get into a little bit because his bat, he likes to swing, right? You know he's aggressive at the plate, but he's patient and aggressive. His patient-aggressive balance has been awesome. I mean, he's not getting on the pitches that he's swinging at. I will say that. Before
He's ramping
today's
up,
game,
bro.
he is ramping up.
This is vet shit.
So-
He knows what he's doing.
He absolutely does, dude. He knows. His eye is so good. He knows what pitchers are trying to do to him. He was batting 163, not good, 321 on base percentage, and a 267 slug. So you can't get a good slug unless you hit
You
the
hit
ball.
balls.
But that middle number of 321,
Pretty good.
despite hitting 163, means he's walking a lot. So as of Friday, after Friday's game, the last 7 games, 4 strikeouts, 6 walks.
Let's go.
The last 14 games, 16 strikeouts, 15 walks.
Let's go.
So if you have a 1-to-1 or better strikeout to walk ratio, you're doing your team a favor. He even stole a base this week, which was nice. They didn't expect him to, but he swiped it. It was nice. So the way Jorge Polanco can come in and do his job even when he's not offensively producing, he can't put the barrel on the ball for some damn reason. He's going to figure it out. Don't get me wrong. That dude's going to hit some bombs, and he has hit, 3 or something like that. Mm-hmm. He's going to have streaks where he's good, but he's a streaky hitter, and while he's not hitting well, he knows his job. Get on base so someone else can hit that bomb.
Moneyball shit.
So we love that about Jorge, despite his 163 average. Ty France, though. Ty France's savant page, his baseball savant page, has so much red. And if you didn't know, red means really fucking good.
That's what it says when
How's
you read
his
it.
grounded to double play numbers?
Yeah, his
Well-
ground and double play numbers aren't that great. But I will say he's made some adjustments, right? He's backed off the plate a little bit. He hasn't been hit by any pitches
That's
this
the
year.
clearest one. Just looking at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not getting
he
plunked
hit another-
every at-bat.
He hit another home run tonight.
Yep.
Very nice. His second home run of the year. He boosted it to left center. He's explosive at the plate, and Driveline is doing its job. That +2 miles per hour swing velocity is making a huge difference because he's hard hit percentage, 90th percentile, sweet spot, 93rd percentile, chase rate, 73rd percentile, which means he's not chasing pitches out of the zone that much. His whiff rate, 63rd, even going down. K rate, 53. Walk rate, 42, which means he's being more aggressive at the plate, but he's still in the middle of the pack for walk rate.
And he's not a big walk guy. That's not a huge part of his game, which is fine.
We know he's a hit artist.
Yes.
He'll use all parts of the field. His first home run of the year was a line drive straight over the right field wall by the pole, like straight down the line.
And this home run was to left center today.
Yeah, deep to left center.
It was
Over
hammered.
400.
Yeah, it was 410 feet. It
Into the Mariners bullpen.
was like 109 mph off the bat. I mean,
That's great.
Yeah.
That's why we call him hit artist.
yes.
What we do know about Ty France is he doesn't have a lot of range at first base, but that's okay because he's a pick artist as well. And his sprint speed went from 6th percentile to 5th percentile this week. So
he's actively getting slower.
He's one of the slowest runners in the league. But if he can hit the ball the way he has been, his average exit velocity is 91.3. He's killing it, dude. The way that he's come into this year looking hot. He's putting the bat on the ball, and I love it. I don't care about the double plays if he can hit the ball over the fence or slap a double.
I still care about the double play.
I would rather see.
Garrett beefs with it.
I'd rather
Dude,
see.
it sucks to end an inning on a double play. You're like, cool.
I'd rather see
Get outta
Ty
here.
France
Try again.
not get hit by pitch 20 times a year, hit into more double plays,
Or
but
more than
also hit more slug, like have
Sure.
a higher slugging.
Yeah.
And the way he's looking, slimmer, more powerful, more explosive.
Dad strength.
I'll take that trade-off every day, and absolutely dad strength.
Just keep the ball off the ground, Ty. Unless you're like gonna pork it up the middle, then we can do that.
Look, the Mariners are heating up.
Yeah. Oh, I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
What's up with Julio getting picked off so many times trying to steal second?
Or just getting thrown out stealing. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. Not getting picked off.
He needs some better jumps. He does already have 7 stolen bases on the year, so he's been stealing at a pretty good clip. There was a brutal strike him out, throw him out play that happened tonight on Saturday. Cal Raleigh struck out looking and hosed Julio trying to steal at the same time.
Tough one.
Kind of a brutal play, but all in all, it didn't affect too much. But yeah,
Bad leads, bad jumps. What is it?
I think it's just got to be on the jumps, because Julio has shown that he does have the speed. He can steal bases. That hasn't really been a problem, but it does seem like he's been thrown out quite a few times to start the year. So I think it's just working on when to jump, what pitch to run on, and it's hard. Like, it's a guessing game too. Like, if you have to guess, like, the pitcher is going to throw a breaking ball on this pitch that will give you a little bit more time to run and stuff. And like on the strike him out, throw him out tonight, it was a fastball that Julio jumped on. So, Cal strikes out looking on a fastball, which is just quicker for the catcher to pop.
Yeah.
And unfortunately enough, the catcher's throw was a little offline, but it happened to be towards the first base side. So as soon as
He ran right into it.
He ran right into it. And
Yeah.
it was one of the few cases where like a less than perfect throw actually worked out.
Everything
in the favor.
went right.
Yeah.
Cal didn't swing, so it was easy for the catcher to throw the ball. The ball tailed, but it was towards the runner.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the dirt. Like, it's something that everything had to go right there. And I'm not worried about Julio stealing bases. Who else would you want stealing bases on our team?
That's
right?
the thing. That's
So
kind of
when
what we're talking about. He has the
opportunity,
speed.
He does have the speed.
He had 98th percentile speed, man.
I'm saying he's quick, but why does he keep getting thrown out so much?
It's just got to be a jump
It's
thing.
a jump thing.
It's a
Okay.
jump thing.
He's
So-
young and learning about these things too.
Sure.
I mean, when you talk about Julio, you think about him being a 30-30 type guy.
He's gonna try and steal
And
40
of
bags
course,
again.
40, yeah.
Yeah.
But you're always hoping that he does that. And he's the kind of guy that's going to steal 30 bags regardless of how many times he gets thrown out this year. So we'll see what the percentage looks like months from now. There's no
Yeah.
way that we don't give him the opportunity to steal because he's been stolen.
I'm not
or been
saying
thrown
he
out.
should stop trying.
No, definitely not.
But there is
you're asking
some.
why.
This is what I wanted.
If you're
Yeah.
asking
I
why,
wanted this conversation.
because he's the best opportunity we have to steal a base, and the more opportunities he gets, the more he'll get thrown out because he's going to keep trying, and it's going to be a high percentage of stolen bases. But
All right.
we'll see it more than not. He's going to get thrown out because he's stealing so much more often.
Yeah,
It's going to look
Makes
more
sense.
apparent to me.
And that's just math.
That's right.
and not just baseball. But all in all, it's been an incredibly solid week of Mariners baseball. They're still in first place, still holding it down, and
Yeah, I got a couple more things to say about how we're in first place too. We can talk about Houston.
Okay, let's talk about
I would
Houston.
love to talk about Houston.
You wanna talk about
before
the
we,
White Sox,
wrap
too?
it up there, Patrick.
You want to talk about the
Trying to-
Rockies?
The rapper here, but Houston has a terrible start to their season. They were 7-17 after Friday.
They're also an entire starting rotation down.
Their whole injured rotate. Yeah, they have a whole staff on their injured list. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
They're coming back slowly. Verlander just got back. Framber Valdez is just getting back, but they're
Javier should be back
being
soon.
devastated. Their offense hasn't been that bad, but to start 10 games under 500 after 24, like That's pretty tough to bury yourselves that way, but we'll take that. The way that the AL West has buried themselves has helped the Mariners because we have divisional aspirations. I will say that the AL East has been a juggernaut. And
Dude, yes. What the fuck?
After
Their worst team
Thursday?
is like 500.
Boston, yeah. They were all over 500 after Thursday. I don't know about now, Saturday, but that's the notes I took. And the Central
I think I
has
checked that day too, and I was like, oh my God, this division. I mean, thank God we're in the AL West because it stinks over here.
Well, that means that it's going to be a busy wild card, 2 spots. If there's that many teams that are that good in the AL West and the Central, which might have Cleveland and KC, but it'll be a busy wild card either way. We need to shoot for that division.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's try not to make a wild card spot. Let's win the division this season.
Let's get that divisional spot with Houston burying themselves the way they have. There's no
Man, the climb out of this hole is going to be immense.
There's no other goal than to win this division here.
I mean, Houston is currently 11 games under 500. I mean, love to see it.
I love that.
to see it.
Astros.
Run
2 S's.
Run differential -28. So they're just
Ours wasn't great for a while there. What's ours right now?
we're plus 11
Hey, that's
in
pretty
the
good. That's
positives.
pretty good. It could be plus 112.
What's
though.
our
That would be-
fun
And-
differential though?
Oh,
Fun
through the
differential
roof. Another funny thing about baseball just being weird. Oakland A's are currently in 3rd place with a run differential of -44. So
Let's go A's. Mason Miller. Wow.
So they're losing 1-run games and winning.
no,
a
they're
lot?
they're winning 1-run games
Oh,
and
and
losing
losing
by
by a
like
lot. I see.
17.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's not that
Backwards.
bad, but it is. They're having
Better
a rough
than
go.
last year.
Yes, and
The White Sox though.
Yikes.
The Chicago White Sox started off 3-17 or something.
the White Sox are 5-22.
Oh, they won a couple.
The Marlins are 6-22.
Yo,
The
there are
Rockies are 7-20. I mean, there's some teams that just their season might already be in the shitter.
There are some not major league caliber teams in the league right now.
Houston has a good enough squad to battle out. I would not. They're not in the same boat as the
No,
White
they're
Sox
not.
or the Marlins.
I haven't put them out of my mind. I mean, they're
But
there
that
in the back of my
climb
mind.
is gonna be so crazy.
Yeah, it's tough. They're in the type of hole that, I mean, you have to be on point for the rest of the season because that 11 games under, that's brutal. I mean,
Just
that's
to get back to 500.
just to
Yeah.
get back to 500. They will be a healthier squad soon. They are the Astros. They are scary. They still have Yordan Alvarez. They still have Jose Altuve. They still have Kyle Tucker
Bregman can still get it done too.
occasionally.
Just saying.
But the what's really been hurting them is their pitching. So when their pitching gets back, and it is slowly getting there, they're still a scary team. But right now they've dug themselves in such of a hole that we're not really too concerned about them right now. They have a chance to turn it around, but as of right now, it's not looking pretty.
We haven't seen them yet either.
We're gonna have to go on a gnarly skid. They're gonna have to make a crazy resurgence.
We
I
do
mean,
see them pretty soon, actually.
well, let's widen the gap as far as it can possibly go.
Yeah, we need to stack dubs, dude.
Yes.
Stacking dubs is the Mariners' that's their goal right now. We need to get as far above 500 as possible because we were the most 500 team possible until the All-Star break last year. And we, for like 2
Do you mean
months
we
straight,
spent
we
the
were like,
most time
are
at
we
500?
500
Yeah.
or are we not 500? And we're like, yeah, basically.
yeah.
So this year, let's get 10 games above 500. How about let's shoot for
By
that?
the All-Star break?
Just in general.
By the end of the season.
By the All-Star break?
By the All-Star
yes.
break.
By the
yes.
All-Star break.
Yes and yes.
And then
Well, I mean,
to the moon.
To the moon.
we're
So,
here playing Arizona at home.
We have a chance for the sweep on
That's
Sunday.
Yep.
A little afternoon baseball.
Then we play the Braves at home here in Seattle.
No days off in between.
Wait, hold on. Do you guys think Kellenic will get the package like Suarez got with
No.
Jose? Hell,
Absolutely not.
no. I wonder.
He might get booed.
I'm actually curious about what the fan.
Oh man, I could see him getting
That's a
booed.
tough one.
I could see it being a mixture. It was
Let's
all.
change it up. Let's just laugh.
Let's just not do anything. Like they announce his name
silence?
and no one does anything. It just talks to each other like normal, like nothing even happens. And I don't know. It'll have to be a reaction to what he does more than him coming to the plate. I think.
You can hear people being like, "Excuse me, I gotta scoot by."
Yeah.
I feel the claps will be extra loud when he strikes out. He might get.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
But when he gets out, I feel like the
No, you're-
Mariners fans might have a little extra to say about it.
You're right. If I was in the stands and he struck out, I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, that's right. Fucking that's why. That's why you're gone."
But the Brave series is going to be tough. The Braves have a really nice squad,
Dude, they're
They have
so
such
good.
a good team over there.
We have to get on their pitching. That's the one thing.
So we have a tough series against Atlanta, and then we face Houston after the
Yep.
Atlanta series. We face Houston for the first time, so that will be exciting.
Yeah, we'll
And-
have a day off Thursday and go to Houston for the weekend, next weekend. So we'll be recapping that with our next episode.
And yeah, and this, I mean, it's so nice to have an episode that's just all positives. I mean, everything has been cooking. We've been so happy, and we wanted the hot start, right? And we started off the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, pretty cold. But now what's happening is what we wanted to happen. We said we needed
warm up.
Yeah, we said we needed to jump out early. None of this middling around 500. Excuse me, sorry. Middling around 500 until the All-Star break, and then it takes, a 14-game winning streak to get us back into
That
contention.
was 2 years ago, by the way. We had 2 8-game winning streaks last year to really bolster us.
Yeah.
But just
We can
same
split
thing.
it up.
Same
Half.
thing.
Yeah. But still, to jump out early and to hold
big.
this first place
It's gonna be
lead.
huge.
Yeah, we're super happy with it. It's been an amazing week. We can't wait to be back next week, hopefully with more good news.
That's right. Well, we will have more good news here on Saw.
Oh, we should on Sog Radio. Also, we have no producer this episode. We're just flying by the seat of our pants over here.
Yeah, so
I'm
sorry.
producing the episode from back here.
Nathan,
So,
I hope you're having fun out at Red Rocks, Colorado without us.
Hey, shout out Nathan, our
Yeah,
producer.
Nathan, you're the best.
So
hang out in
we're
Colorado.
kind of collectively trying to produce this with no one in the director's chair. So leave a comment if we completely botched it.
I think we knocked it out of the park. Like a Ty France.
Maybe
dad
our
strength
audio
phone.
doesn't line up again.
Home
Who knows?
run, baby.
Thank you all for being a part of this as we learn it on the fly, too. We do put a lot of work into this. And hopefully.
Saturday in the garage. Think it was the three of us guys. How's that?
Art.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you all so much for being a part of this. We work really hard to put this content out for you. And thank you to each and every single one of our listeners. You guys mean so much to us. And shout out Mom and Grandma. I love you both so
And
much.
My mom
and
too.
Seriously, so every like and every comment and
really helps
every
us a lot.
subscribe helps so much. And we're a small time podcast
Very
out
small
here
time. We
trying
have
to
less
do
than
what we
100
do.
followers. Any comment negative, talk shit to us in the comments. It just helps us. Please
Yeah.
be like,
anything helps.
Garrett's fat as shit. Patrick can't grow hair on
Make
the top
that
of his
click
head.
down
L,
here.
loser.
Make the click on the subscribe.
I actually just cosplay as Mitch Haniger. So
It's pretty good.
I'm going for the look.
Pretty good.
Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll be back next week to make you the most informed fans in the world. Thank you all, and go Mariners!